Turning to a new development in the battle for UFO transparency from the federal government. This coming week, members of Congress will attend a classified briefing about the UFO phenomenon. The House Oversight Committee will receive a briefing from U.S. Intelligence Community Inspector General Thomas Monheim. Now, this is the committee's second such briefing, the first being delivered by the Department of Defense. The briefing is scheduled to happen on Friday. I do want to bring in NewsNation special contributor Ross Coulthart, who broke the bombshell Grush interview. Ross, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi, Natasha.
What do you expect will be discussed at this forthcoming meeting, and how will this closed-door meeting be different than the public UAP hearings before?
Well, there's a big question mark over how much the committee members are going to be allowed to hear, because pretty much everything David Grush has to talk about is protected by TS-SCI clearances, top secret compartmentalized clearances. And the big question mark that we don't know the answer to is how much are the committee members allowed to be told of what David Grush knows. My understanding is that they have not been read in. They haven't been security briefed to be read into those compartmented programs. So they're only going to be able to be told in the very broadest terms by the Inspector General of the intelligence community what he knows. But that nonetheless is still very significant, because there is an opportunity here for the committee to finally find out what it was that convinced the Inspector General of the intelligence community, Thomas Monheim, that David Grush's allegations were credible and urgent. And that's why he referred them on to Congress, onto the Oversight Intelligence Committees.
Yeah, I want to follow up on that, because the Intel Community's Inspector General, who is conducting that briefing, he has previously called David Grush's allegations about UFOs credible and urgent. That is a much different tone than the official DoD position that there's been no evidence of extraterrestrial materials discovered so far. Do you expect the Inspector General will present any of Grush's evidence and even agree with Grush's claims at this briefing?
No, I don't, to be perfectly honest. I don't think that the committee members are allowed to know the full extent of what the Inspector General of the intelligence community knows. There are people, witnesses, direct witnesses from the legacy UAP crash retrieval reverse engineering program, people who allege that they are directly involved working with non-human technology. Those witnesses gave evidence under oath to the Inspector General of the intelligence community. And frankly, I would be very surprised, Natasha, if that evidence is allowed to be presented to the non-cleared members of the committee. But at the very least, they can get an assurance from the Inspector General that he has done an investigation. And that's very significant, because there's been a lot of evasion, as you rightly point out, by the Pentagon. They keep on relying on AARO, the Pentagon's UFO office, to assert that there is no credible evidence. But when they say that, they're not speaking for the entire Pentagon. And frankly, I know, because I'm speaking to people inside the Pentagon and inside the intelligence community, they know full well that there are whistleblowers who've come forward, who've given direct evidence, not only to the Inspector General, but also to the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence and the HPSI, the House Permanent Select Committee for Intelligence. And the big question mark, really, and I think the answer is no, is whether the committee members of the House Oversight Committee will this week be allowed to see that evidence in detail. I don't think they will be, but they will probably be allowed to know that the Inspector General did at least do his own investigation, and that's very important.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.